I ran into the grocery store the other day just for a quick trip through, and as you check out, by the checkout, there are still magazines, yes? They still print magazines, yes? They're very expensive these days, yes? So I'm standing in line, waiting patiently, and one of them caught my attention. It is from the riveting Midwest Living magazine. Have you heard of it? I have never heard of it, right? But it caught my attention. Now, thank God for all things smartphones and internet. I didn't have to spend the $10 for the magazine, yes? I came back and printed, but this was the cover from Midwest magazine. What do you see on the front cover? Lots and lots and lots of presents. What do you see on the cover? Lots and lots and lots of, and here's the tagline, joy inside. What's the tagline? Joy inside. So somehow, if you get lots and lots and lots of presents, you will have joy inside. Really? But somehow, some way, our culture is trying to keep us very focused that if we get lots and lots and lots of presents, we will have joy. And brilliantly, Ahaz, from thousands of years ago, so was a role model for all of us. We don't need another thing. Did you catch that in the first reading? So Isaiah is saying, ask for more signs, if you will, from God. Lots and lots of presents. And what does Ahaz say? I don't need another thing. What does he say? I don't need another thing. But what Ahaz realizes is what he needs to do is literally unpack the gift that he has already received in the Lord. And that's the power of why we hear the Christmas story on this fourth Sunday of Advent, keeping us mindful that we already have the gift that is Emmanuel. What does it mean? God is with us, and he will be everything we need today, tomorrow, at Christmas, and forever. What we do need, though, is a mindfulness, an awareness to keep noticing the presence and the action of God alive in our lives. Jesus is the perfect gift. He is everything we need. Ahaz brilliantly says, I do not need another thing. But what I do need to do, what we need to do, is to become so much more aware of the perfect gift that we receive from the Lord, Emmanuel. He is God with us. He is the one that can save us. He can bring light to our darkness, hope to our struggles. He is the one that can fill our hearts with joy. And the more we live mindful of the blessings, the action, the presence of God already in our lives, the more our hearts will be filled with joy. Ahaz, a role model for all of us, young and old alike. Really, do we need one more thing? As if somehow that will fill us with joy. What we need is more awareness and more God in our lives, in our homes, in our families, and in our world. As you walk into the week, the first is this. Take with you the wisdom of Ahaz. Keep looking for God. Look for God everywhere. Name where you see God working in your lives. And do it over and over and over again. Why? Because the more we see God, the more we are aware of God present in our lives, the more your heart will be filled with joy. It will be filled with peace. It will be strengthened by the love of God. Here's the second thing. If there is anything all of us need, our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren as well, we need more God. How can you package, if you will, a godly gift to everyone you're going to be with in these Christmas days? Find a godly gift. It could be as simple as a card. I am praying for you. I pray that God will be with you always. My gift to you is prayer. You could invite them to church. Think of a godly gift. Why? What's the one thing that all of us need? What do we need? We need much more of it. We need much more of it for ourselves. We need much more of it in our homes, and especially in our world. And as silly as it sounds, how can you literally package, if you will, and give your family members the gift of? And thirdly, all week long, people are going to say, hey, what are you doing for Christmas, Dino? Answer, I'm going to church. We're going to say, oh, I'm going to my brothers, I'm going to my sisters, I'm having everybody over, right? What should we tell them? We're going to? That's what St. Paul says. We're called to be apostles. We're called to tell everybody about, in a good way, the working, the action, the presence of God in our lives. So when you ask, like, what are you doing for Christmas, Dino?
Going to church.
I'm going to church. What are you doing for Christmas? What are you doing? Or the week after. What did you do for Christmas? I went to church. Hey, do you want to join me? It's silly. It's simple, but we're talking about going to our brothers, having everybody over, doing this and that. What's the most important thing we could tell them about? Going to church. Centering our lives on the Lord. Why? Because Ahaz, thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago, what did he say? Like us, we don't need another thing. What we do need to do is be more mindful of God, present, active, alive in our hearts, in our lives, in our homes. And when we do that, our hearts then will be filled with joy.